flying is much safer. Too bad we have to put up with what happens before takeoff. The frequent flyer in me wants to know, isn't there a better way to combat the risk of terrorism that's quicker and less intrusive? Now, the Department of Defense is funding a promising and unusual new explosives detection system. It's the brainchild of Professor June Medford at Colorado State University.
They actually don't need wires, they don't need batteries, and they don't need electricity. And we'll take you down to the deep part of the basement to see them.
This must be some serious, ultra top secret tech.
All right, ready? Here they are.
What, behind the salad bar?
No, these are our bomb detectors, the plants.
Come on, it's a salad green. It can't move, it can't talk, it can't touch anything or smell anything?
Gotta breathe, just like you and I.
And like us, plants can sense all sorts of things in their environment. Light and moisture, temperature and touch, and chemicals like nitrogen or phosphorus.
They have ways to sense and respond to their environment continuously, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, but they're slow.
They're not slow. Take, for instance, the Venus flytrap. It's fast enough it can catch a fly.
Whoa. Okay, that was fast. June's plants can't catch flies, but they can detect traces of chemical explosives through microscopic receptors on the surface of their leaves, stems, and roots. If I could get in there with a microscope, what would these receptors look like? Are they little Velcro or hands?
They're little proteins. We actually have a model of what one would look like right here.
Receptors are proteins that are shaped to bind like a lock and key to specific chemicals found in nature. But amazingly, some receptors on June's plants can latch onto man-made compounds. This is a particle of bomb stuff.
Bomb stuff.
Wafting through the air.
It's wafting through the air, and you can't hide, and it comes in and it binds this.
You've engineered this protein, this receptor on this plant to look for something new, a bomb material or explosive that nature didn't breed.
Absolutely.
Are you genetically modifying that plant?
Yes, we are.
June works with a group at the University of Washington that custom designs new proteins. They tailor-made a plant receptor that binds to compounds in explosives. Then they came up with the sequence of DNA, the gene, that tells the plants to grow this receptor. And how does June get that DNA into her plants? It's as easy as taking a bath.
If you wanted to put a new gene in a plant, all you have to do is take your plants, turn them upside down in the solution, and give them a gentle swirl.
What? That's...
Maybe some music.
Come on, that's like a B-movie version of genetic modification. What about the injector syringe and the microscope and...
It's this.
This solution contains bacteria that naturally infect plants. June inserted the new gene into the bacteria. Now she leaves it up to them to do the dirty work of transferring the gene into the plant's DNA. That can't work.
Yes, it can.
It's like a kindergartner's science project.
Here, you do it, David.
Man, just by swishing it around upside down?
Indeed. Think about plant sex. Slow. There you go. You got him in.
I've done it. So this plant can sniff bombs now?
The seed from that plant can sniff bombs.
Oh, the seed.
Yeah.
So this was the plant's sex, and the offspring...
The offspring will sniff
will have the
bombs.
superpower.
Yep.
The swirled plants eventually flower and produce seeds that June grows in petri dishes. These tiny plants are bomb detectors. But how exactly can they tell us there's a bomb nearby? It's not like they can wag their tails and bark. When molecules of explosives bind to the engineered receptors on the surface of the plant, they trigger a powerful response. And what exactly happened here?
Well, they detected a substance. It activated a histidine kinase signal transduction pathway that sent a high-energy phosphate bond from a histidine to an aspartate, leading to a conformational change in the protein, activating our degreening circuit, leading to a loss of chlorophyll.
What does that mean?
The plants turned white.
For now, it takes 48 hours for the plant's leaves to lose all their chlorophyll, the pigment that makes them green. June tracks the progress with time-lapse cameras. But she's working on reducing that time to just seconds, fast as a Venus flytrap. So someday, this could be the front yard of the airport.
That's right. This is the entrance to the airport.
Or a shopping center or a theater.
Shopping center, entrances to any area, including the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
The only problem is, what happens if somebody just happens to have planted white flowers? Wouldn't everyone be like, ah, bombs?
The leaves are still green, David.
Oh, it's the leaves that change color. June has harnessed the incredible machinery of nature to create bomb detectors powered by water and sunshine. And now there's another new technology that may protect us against even scarier weapons, like a dirty bomb or an actual nuke. Every year, about 16 million cargo containers arrive at American ports. The worry is that any one of them might contain dangerous radioactive contraband. Customs officials can scan only a small percentage of them. Like giant Geiger counters, radiation portal monitors can detect the gamma rays emitted by uranium, plutonium, and other nuclear materials. But not all our ports are equipped with this gear. And besides, those detectors can easily be fooled. X-rays can spot nuclear materials, but they can be harmful to living things, like port officials. What if there were a harmless way to see inside every container? It would be like having superpowers. At the Southern California offices of Decision Sciences, Michael Sosong is working on just such a system. But before he shows me how it works, he's going to demonstrate the shortcomings of standard radiation detectors. He has me wield a Geiger counter.
The nuclear materials that we're looking for are not the only radioactive things out there. There's a lot of other things that are putting off radiation that we use in our daily lives.
Really? Like
bananas.
Bananas? Mike tells me that bananas actually contain potassium-40, a radioactive isotope, but way too little to hurt us. Still, containers of bananas have set off alarms. So the port inspectors, they'd be looking at their monitors and they'd be like, whoa, there's something radioactive in there, freak out everybody, and then they're like, oh, it's just bananas.
Right.
Water softener salt contains even more of that potassium. And some ceramics get their bright colors from radioactive glazes.
And that's a serious problem with the detectors that we have out there now, is that they're getting hundreds of false positives at a busy port a day.
It can take hours to hand inspect shipments to confirm a false positive. And that's time port officials could use to detect real threats. But there's an even more chilling problem.
We actually call this the cube of terror, the type of arrangement that a terrorist might use trying to smuggle these materials.
It's just 3 layers of lead inside a steel-lined milk crate. And this is a cube of uranium. Don't worry, this is depleted uranium, not the kind used in bombs. But it's still radioactive enough that I need to wear gloves to handle it. Oh man, it's very, very heavy. Nuclear materials are dense. This cube weighs nearly 50 pounds. And I'm all set. All right?
Yes.
Behold, 1 cube of terror and no radiation to give it away.
You could now drive this past any passive radiation detector and they wouldn't detect it.
Frank, it's just milk. Don't worry about it. But now there may be a way to peer into the cube. It's a technology based on something from outer space. Cosmic rays. When these high-energy particles hit Earth's atmosphere, they create subatomic particles called muons. Traveling at nearly the speed of light, muons rain down on our planet all the time and zip through just about anything in their way, including you, me, and shipping containers. This contraption may look like nothing more than a huge metal frame, but it can detect those muons. It looks like it's nothing but a bunch of aluminum pipes.
Well, you're right. It's just aluminum tubes. There's nothing very exotic in terms of the physical machine. There is a lot of software, a lot of complexity in the software.
More than 4,000 aluminum tubes make up this lower detector, and 4,000 more form the upper detector. Each tube has an electrically charged wire running through it. When a muon passes through the tube, the wire sends a signal to a bank of computers. The upper detector records the path of each muon as it enters the scanner. As the muon penetrates the container and its contents, these solid objects change its trajectory a bit. The denser the material, the greater the change. When the muon hits the lower detector, the system records how much the muon's path has changed and calculates the density of every object in the container. But can it look through lead and spot a hidden block of uranium? This I've got to see.
Nice little spot for it.
All right. Michael helps me hide my evil milk crate in a shipment of innocent goods. So here's where the magic happens, huh? As thousands of muons stream through the detector, the computer builds up an image of the container and its contents.
And you can already see there's the pallets, you can see the corner posts of the containers. We get a full 3D picture of what's in the container. And that's critical because it helps to address this issue of hiding things behind other, more dense objects.
Materials used in nuclear weapons are among the densest on Earth. Within seconds, the uranium shows up.
This isn't just a load of paper and kitty litter. There's something high density in there. And you can actually see the nice red arrow.
That's amazing. Even though I put that uranium in 3 half-inch thick layers of lead and inside the steel of a container, like Superman with X-ray vision, you are seeing that block.
It's actually better than X-ray vision. It's muon vision.
For a next step, a full-scale scanner is being tested at Freeport in the Bahamas. If it pays off, this technology may help protect our ports against nuclear threats.